The hood drops over his face. Everything goes dark. His arms are yanked behind his back. The cuffs bite into his wrists. Not fast. Not angry. Calm. Precise. Boots echo on concrete. One step. Then another. A metal door opens. Cold air hits his skin. A guard leans close and speaks in a flat voice. "Forget your name." The door slams shut. Silence floods in. No window. No clock. No sound except his breathing. This is the moment every life sentence prisoner fears. Because once this door closes, there is no way out. Before we dive in, drop a comment and let us know where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you. If you enjoy true crime stories like this, be sure to like the video, subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this with someone who'd find it interesting. Before the gates closed, long before the hood, long before the silence, this man lived a normal life. He woke up. He ate breakfast. He walked outside like anyone else. But Russia in the 1990s was a hard place. Jobs disappeared. Police were stretched thin. Crime filled the gaps. For some people, fear took over. For others, power did. The man at the center of this story crossed a line that couldn't be undone. Investigators later said his crimes were cold, blunt, remorseless. When he was arrested, he didn't fight. He just stared. The trial was fast. The evidence was clear. Victims' families packed the courtroom. Some cried. Some said nothing at all. When the judge spoke, his voice did not shake. Life imprisonment. One sentence. One breath. In Russia, a life sentence means something different. It doesn't mean decades. It means forever. Days later, guards arrived at his cell before sunrise. No explanation. No warning. They ordered him to kneel. Hands behind his back. Head down. From that moment on, he was not allowed to look forward again. On the prison transport bus, every prisoner sat bent over. Heads forced down between their knees. Anyone who moved was corrected instantly. Not with anger. With routine. Hours passed. Snow covered the land outside. Endless. Empty. The bus finally stopped. Engines shut off. A guard said only 2 words. "We're here." The hood went on. As he stepped outside, he felt it. The cold. The quiet. The absence of life. Inside the wall stood a statue. A black dolphin rising from concrete. Its mouth open. Its eyes blank. This was Black Dolphin prison. Guards explained the rules. You do not walk. You are escorted. You do not sit. You are ordered. Lights stay on at all times. Silence is enforced. Your name no longer matters. Then came the final rule. A guard whispered through the hood. No one survives this place. The cell door opened. He took one step forward. The door slammed shut behind him. And for the first time, fear finally reached him. Because he understood something too late. Black Dolphin was not built to hold men. It was built to erase them. And his first night inside was about to begin. The first night. The door locks with a dull click. Not loud. Not dramatic. Final. The sound sinks into his chest. The cell is small. Too small to stretch. Concrete walls. Steel door. A single bed bolted to the floor. The light is already on. Bright. White. Unblinking. It will never turn off. He stands there, hands still behind his back. Minutes pass. Or maybe hours. Time already feels broken. A speaker crackles to life. Face the wall. He obeys. Hands up. He lifts them. Hook up. The cuffs come off. The door opens again. 2 guards step inside. Their faces are blank. Calm. Almost bored. They check his clothes. His mouth. His ears. No words wasted. Then they leave. The door slams shut again. This time the silence feels heavier. He sits on the edge of the bed. Not because he wants to. Because he's allowed. The light hums. His eyes burn. There is no darkness here. No shadow to hide in. He listens. No yelling. No talking. No movement. Just the faint buzz of electricity. Somewhere down the hall, someone coughs. It echoes longer than it should. He realizes something chilling. This prison is not loud like others. It is quiet on purpose. Quiet makes you think. Quiet makes memories come back. Quiet makes guilt louder. Hours pass. His body wants sleep. His mind refuses. Every time he closes his eyes, the light bleeds through. He turns on the bed. A camera stares down at him from the corner. Always watching. Even now. Then, without warning, the speaker crackles again. Stand. He jumps up. Hands behind your back. The door opens. Guards are there already. They move fast. Cuffs click shut. The hood goes back on. He tries to ask a question. A guard stops him with one word. Silence. They walk him into the hallway. Cold air. Footsteps. Nothing else. They stop. A new door opens. Something smells different here. Sure. Clean. Empty. The hood is pulled off. For the first time since arriving, he sees where he is. A white room. No windows. No furniture. Just walls. A guard looks at him and says, "This is where men break." The door begins to close. And just before it shuts completely, he hears screaming. Not close. Far away. But real. And suddenly he understands. Black Dolphin doesn't kill you fast. It lets you listen while it happens. The door slams shut. And the screams don't stop. The sound that never leaves. The screams fade. Not all at once. They stretch out. Break apart. Then vanish. Silence rushes back in. Thick. Heavy. The white room feels smaller now. The prisoner stands frozen. Heart racing. Mouth dry. No one explains what he heard. No one needs to. The hood comes back over his head. Hands behind his back again. The door opens. Footsteps return. They walk him through the halls. Every step feels slower than the last. When the hood is pulled off, he's back in his cell. Same walls. Same bed. Same light. Nothing has changed. But he has. He sits down shaking. That scream wasn't a fight. It wasn't chaos. It sounded controlled. Time. Like part of a process. The speaker crackles again. Meal. A slot opens in the door. A tray slides in. Gray food. No smell. No warmth. He eats because his body tells him to. Not because he wants to. As he chews, he listens. Silence again. But now he knows better. Silence here is not peace. It's a pause. Days begin to blur. He is woken. Moved. Fed. Returned. Always bent forward. Always watched. No mirrors. No books. No voices. Only commands. Stand. Sit. Face the wall. The light never shuts off. His eyes ache constantly. Sleep comes in short bursts. Dreams don't feel like dreams anymore. They feel like memories. Then one morning something changes. The speaker crackles, but the voice is different. Softer. Slower. Prepare. The door opens. Guards enter. They don't rush this time. They take their time. One of them pauses at the door. Looks at him. And says quietly, "You will not scream today." The hood goes on. They walk him down a hallway he hasn't been to before. The air feels colder. The footsteps stop. A heavy door creaks open. Inside, someone else is already there. Breathing fast. Panicked. The door begins to close. And that's when he realizes, this time the screaming might be his. The lesson. The door shuts. The sound is thick. Heavy. Final. The hood comes off. The room is smaller than his cell. Concrete walls. No corners to hide in. A drain in the floor. Across from him stands another man. Older. Thinner. Eyes wide with fear. They don't speak. They don't need to. A camera watches from above. The guards step back. One of them speaks calmly like a teacher. Rules are simple. He pauses. You move only when told. Silence. You speak only when asked. Another pause. If you fail, you learn. The guards leave. The door locks. The two men are alone. Minutes pass. The older man starts shaking. His breathing grows loud. Too loud. A speaker crackles. Quiet. The older man tries. He really tries. But fear has already taken over. His breath turns into sobs. Then, a sharp alarm sounds. Not loud. Short. The older man freezes. The speaker speaks again. You were warned. Something clicks in the wall. The older man gasps. He drops to his knees. There is no blood. No violence shown. Just sound. Pain-filled. Helpless. The prisoner watches. Heart pounding. Every part of him wants to look away. But he can't. This is not punishment. This is instruction. The alarm stops. The room goes silent. The older man is left on the floor, shaking, alive. Barely. The speaker crackles one last time. Remember. The door opens. Guards rush in. They take the older man first, dragging him out. He doesn't resist. He doesn't even look back. Then they turn to him. A guard leans close and whispers, "Now you understand." The hood goes back on. As he's led away, one thought fills his mind. This prison doesn't want obedience. It wants fear to live inside you. Forever. They stop walking. Another door opens. The hood is still on. The guard says one sentence. "Tomorrow it's your turn to teach." The door begins to close. The choice. Morning comes without darkness ever leaving. The light is still on. Always. The speaker crackles. Stand. He stands. Hands behind your back. The cuffs click shut. The hood goes on. His heart beats fast, but his face stays still. He has learned that much already. They walk him down the hall. Same steps. Same cold air. But today feels different. He knows where he's going. They stop. A door opens. The hood is pulled off. It's another white room. Clean. Empty. But this time he's not alone. A younger man stands across from him. Barely older than a boy. Eyes darting. Hands shaking. The boy whispers, barely moving his lips. Please? A speaker turns on. The same calm voice. You know the rules. Silence. You will give the command. His chest tightens. The guards don't move. They don't threaten. They don't rush him. They wait. The boy looks at him now. Hope flashes for just a second. Then fear replaces it. The voice speaks again. If you do not speak, you will both learn. Time slows. This is the truth of Black Dolphin. There is no escape. Only roles. Victim. Witness. Or tool. His mouth feels dry. Every part of him screams to stay silent. But he remembers the older man. The sound he made. The way he didn't fight back. The way fear erased him. The camera blinks. Recording. Waiting. The boy's lips tremble. The speaker says one final word. Decide. He opens his mouth. And just as the first word begins to form, the door behind him creaks open. A guard steps in. And everything changes. No way out. The guard doesn't rush. He steps into the room slowly. The door stays open behind him. Cold air slips inside. The speaker goes silent. That alone is terrifying. The guard looks at the younger man first. Then at him. No anger. No emotion. Just control. The guard speaks. Lesson complete. The younger man lets out a shaky breath. Hope flickers again. For half a second. Then the guard turns back. And now, he says, you learn the last rule. He nods toward the older prisoner. Two more guards enter. They grab him by the arms. Not rough. Not fast. The younger man freezes. Please, he whispers. I'll do it. I'll say the words. No one answers. The guards drag the older prisoner to the center of the room. The camera above hums softly, recording everything. The first guard looks straight at him. This is Black Dolphin, he says. You don't choose between good and bad. He pauses. You choose between bad and worse. The younger man starts crying now. Quiet at first, then louder. The speaker crackles back on. Quiet. The crying stops instantly. Fear has learned its place. The guard steps closer. So you understand, he continues, there was never a test. He points at the older prisoner. This was the example. Then he points at the younger man. And that, he says, is the future. The guards pull the hood back over his head. Darkness returns. His heart pounds. The final words come through the speaker, calm and certain. No one survives Black Dolphin. The door begins to close. Metal scraping metal. And just before it seals shut, he hears the younger man scream his name. A name he hasn't heard spoken since the day he arrived. The door slams. Silence follows. And in that silence, the truth settles in. There is no way out. Not alive. Not human. Erased. The door stays closed. The light never turns off. He is back in his cell. Same walls. Same bed. Same camera. But something is missing now. The part of him that believed in an ending. Days pass. Or weeks. He can't tell anymore. Time no longer moves forward here. It circles. The speaker gives commands. He obeys. Stand. Sit. Face the wall. He follows every rule perfectly. Not because he's strong. Because fear has learned his shape. He no longer dreams of freedom. He dreams of silence. The screams never fully leave. They live in the walls. In the vents. In his head. Sometimes when the prison is quiet, he hears his own name. Whispered. From nowhere. He stops reacting. That's when Black Dolphin knows it has won. Guards watch the camera feeds. They don't see a man anymore. They see compliance. Months turn into years. His body weakens. His voice fades. He speaks only when spoken to. He is no longer a person serving time. He is part of the building. This is why no one survives Black Dolphin. Not because they all die inside these walls, but because the man who entered never leaves. One day a new prisoner arrives. Hooded. Bent forward. Shaking. He hears the familiar sound. The door opening. A guard's voice, calm and flat, says, "Teach him." He stands, turns toward the wall, and understands the final truth. Black Dolphin doesn't end lives. It replaces them. And somewhere outside these walls, the world keeps moving, unaware that another human being has just disappeared. Forever. Black Dolphin prison still exists. Cold, silent, unforgiving. Behind those walls are men the world has chosen to lock away forever. Some committed terrible crimes. Some became monsters over time. But inside Black Dolphin, every story ends the same way. Not with freedom. Not with death. But with erasure. This place doesn't just punish the body. It breaks the mind. And once that happens, there is nothing left to release. Before you go, take a moment to tell us what you think. Is a prison like this justice, or something else entirely? And don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment and tell us where you're watching from, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our next true crime documentary. Thanks for watching. Because some places don't need walls to keep you trapped. They stay with you forever.